Ever had a $1 billion idea pop into your head while you were in the shower? You know, one of those light bulb moments where you think, this is it. This is the one that's going to change everything. You start picturing the fancy office, the magazine covers, the global empire. Hold on a second. Before you remortgage your house and pour your life savings into building that empire, let's talk about one of the most crucial, yet often overlooked, steps in the journey of any successful startup, the MVP. No, I'm not talking about the most valuable player on your favorite sports team, though it's just as critical to your success. I'm talking about a minimum viable product. Think of it as the simplest, most basic version of your idea that you can get into the hands of real users to see if they actually want it. It's not about building the perfect, feature-packed product right out of the gate. It's about building just enough to test your core assumption. Is the problem you're solving a real problem for people? And is your solution the right way to solve it? Let's be real. One of the biggest reasons startups fail is because they build something nobody wants. They spend months, sometimes years, perfecting a product in a vacuum, only to launch it to the sound of crickets. It's a heartbreaking and expensive mistake. The MVP approach completely flips the script. Instead of building based on assumptions, you build to learn. Every feature, every line of code, every design element should serve one purpose: to test a hypothesis. Imagine you have an idea for a revolutionary new app that organizes your recipes, creates shopping lists, and even controls your smart oven. That sounds amazing, right? But building all of that would take a ton of time and money. An MVP approach would ask, what is the absolute core function here? Maybe it's just the recipe organization, so you build a very simple version that only does that one thing. You can even do it with a basic spreadsheet or a simple landing page that lets people sign up. This is what we call a low-fidelity MVP. It's not about the fancy tech. It's about validating the demand. You launch this super simple version to a small group of early adopters. These are your pioneers, the people who are desperate for a solution to the problem you're solving. Then, you listen, you watch, you talk to them. Do they use it? Do they find it valuable? What do they love? What do they hate? What features are they begging you for? This feedback is pure gold. It's worth more than any market research report you could ever buy. It's real-world data from real users. This process of building, measuring, and learning is a cycle. You take the feedback, you iterate on your product, you add the 1 or 2 most requested features, and you test again. Each cycle gets you closer to what the market actually wants, not what you think it wants. You're not just building a product. You're co-creating it with your customers. This de-risks the entire process. Instead of one big, scary bet on your initial idea, you're making a series of small, calculated bets, adjusting your course along the way. Think about some of the biggest names out there. Dropbox didn't start with the complex, multi-platform file syncing service we know today. Their MVP was a simple video. That's Italiano, a 3-minute video demonstrating how the product would work. They put it online, and signups went through the roof overnight. They validated the demand for their idea before writing a single line of complex production code. What about Zappos? Before building a massive online shoe empire with huge warehouses, the founder, Nick Swinmurn, went to local shoe stores, took pictures of shoes, and posted them online. When someone bought a pair, he would literally go back to the store, buy the shoes, and ship them himself. That was his MVP. He tested the fundamental hypothesis. Are people willing to buy shoes online? The answer was a resounding yes. He proved the model worked on a tiny scale before investing in inventory and infrastructure. This approach saves you 2 of your most precious resources: time and money. By focusing only on the essential features, you get your product to market much faster. This speed is a massive competitive advantage. While your competitors are stuck in development for a year, you're already in the market, learning from real users and building a loyal customer base. And financially, it's a no-brainer. Why spend $1 million on a full-featured product that might fail when you can spend a few thousand on an MVP to find out if you're even on the right track? An MVP also helps you find your product market fit sooner. Product market fit is that magical moment when you've built a product that satisfies a strong market demand. It's when your product starts to sell itself, and growth just seems to happen. You can't find this fit by sitting in a boardroom and brainstorming. You'll find it by getting out there, testing, and iterating based on real-world feedback. The MVP is your compass for navigating the journey to product-market fit. So, how do you define your own MVP? Start by identifying your core assumption. What is the single most important belief that needs to be true for your business to succeed? For Dropbox, it was that people wanted a seamless file syncing solution. For Zappos, it was that people would buy shoes without trying them on first. Once you have your core assumption, figure out the absolute minimum set of features needed to test it. Be ruthless here. Cut everything that is a nice to have. Your goal isn't to build your dream product. It's to build a learning machine. Remember, the V in MVP stands for viable. It can't be a buggy, unusable mess. It has to be good enough to provide that core value and give users a glimpse of the vision. It needs to solve a real problem for them, even in its most basic form. If your MVP is just a collection of half-baked features, you won't get clear signals. You'll just learn that people don't like bad products. Focus on doing one thing really, really well. Once you have your MVP, the work is just beginning. You need a plan to get it in front of users and a system to collect their feedback. This could be through surveys, interviews, analytics tools, or just a simple email address for support. The key is to be open, listen actively, and be prepared to be wrong. Your initial idea might be completely off, and that's okay. The MVP process is designed to help you pivot. A pivot isn't a failure. It's a strategic change in direction based on what you've learned. It's a sign that the process is working. So, go back to that billion-dollar idea. Before you dream of scaling, dream of testing. What's the smallest, simplest experiment you can run to see if your idea has legs? It could be a landing page, a video, a simple prototype, or a basic app. By embracing the MVP mindset, you're not just building a product. You're building a sustainable business. You're replacing risky assumptions with validated learning. It's the smartest, most efficient way to turn your big idea into a real success. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this gives you a new perspective on how to bring your ideas to life. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on building and growing your business. Let me know in the comments what your big idea is and what your MVP could look like. I'd love to hear about it. See you in the next video.